Welcome back to another episode of the Popcorn Theory, and on today's episode we will be dissecting Angelina Tyler potentially being Christina Carpenter, the mother of Sam and Tara. Now, while yes, I understand Scream 7 is being made and the focus is going to be on Sydney and her family, but as I mentioned on several videos here in the past, Scream is the unique horror franchise that can split off into several directions with the characters that they have established and then eventually bring them back together in another film. We saw that with Scream 6, having the focus be on the Carpenter sisters. Now we shift to Sidney Prescott and her family. So the potential for 8 bringing these characters back together, I say is pretty high, especially if we factor in the box office for 5 and 6 being so high. So if 7 fails, because there's a lot of fans that I've heard from that are just rejecting having Sydney come back and they just want to go with the core 4 going forward, Spyglass could back up some dump trucks full of money to both Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega to come back in part 8. So the potential is out there. So now let's dive into this theory. Angelina is a young, ambitious woman with dreams of Hollywood stardom. She was a contestant in a talent competition to win the lead role in the Stab 3 film, playing the iconic character of Sidney Prescott. On the surface, she appears to be innocent and eager to please, but beneath her facade lies a driven individual. Angelina is fiercely competitive and will stop at nothing to achieve her goals. Her desire for fame and recognition is palpable, and she's willing to take risks to stand out from the crowd, especially having her role out of 50,000 girls who audition. Towards the end of the film, we hear Angelina admit to having slept with Milton to get her role. But are you telling me that the notorious Pig Milton only slept with one of the contestants? I think not. No, and according to one of the 3 canon websites, Sunrise Sucks, the other contestants all fell ill. So you may be asking, well, why didn't Sydney recognize her in the bathroom? Well, Sydney didn't recognize Judy in Scream 4 either.
You don't remember me, do you? Sorry? We went to high school together. Judy Hicks. We had the same homeroom and drama club too. We were in Peter Pan together. I played a lost boy. You were Tiger Lily.
I'm sorry, it was a long time ago.
And you know, Sid's high school years were not only filled with teenage drama, but it was also complicated with a drunk mother, her death, and a long court case. And then her friends all start being picked off one by one. However, I do think that Sydney did recognize Angelina in that brief encounter. And before we dive into those clues, let's delve deeper into that bathroom scene.
Someone there?
Was it just a clever callback to Scream 1, or was Angelina the person under the robe in that first film, since it would have been a lot easier for her to get into the bathroom rather than a boy sneaking in? Having learned her lessons in the previous 2 massacres of her life, Sydney is more aware of her surroundings, and when she discovers Angelina hiding in the bathroom stall, if we watch Sid's body language, we will notice that she squints her eyes when looking at a rambling Angelina. Now, squinting can mean a few different things, one of them being focused. And it would appear to me here that Sydney indeed does recognize Angelina and is trying to place her face. And if we look at this scene a little bit more in depth, outside of having already covered what Angelina's role was originally meant to be in this film, we have some damning clues. Angelina is wearing the signature boots of Ghostface. She hides in the stall because she took the Ghostface mask and she could easily have placed it in her purse. When Sid looks down at what Angelina dropped, Angelina moves her foot forward almost as if she was trying to block Sydney's view of the phone and mask. Angelina then displays classic traits of serial killers, turning on the charm and beginning to gush over Sydney. And this isn't the only time that Angelina attempted to manipulate those around her. But before we get to that, there is an interesting clue revealed by Dewey when meeting up with Gail earlier in the movie.
All of what, Dewey? You do know something, don't you?
Off the record.
Always.
2 months ago, the Woodsboro police got a call from a woman who said she was with Stab 3. She wanted to see the file on Sid for research.
And?
The boys said no, and she wouldn't give her name.
Sure, Roman had a voice changer, and he could have easily called the police station instead of an actual woman, but
A month later, the station gets broken into. The file room gets ransacked.
Someone stole Sid's file?
I already removed it. I think someone on the film is trying to find Sid.
as we learn later on,
This is all because of you.
I'm a director, Sid. I direct.
it's more likely that Roman had Angelina doing the dirty work here. And what better way to get on the inside than maybe using a charming smile and a hint of vulnerability to gain the trust of a police officer gaining access to the station. Now, I've talked about the two killer theory often on this channel, and there's so many examples in Scream 3 on why there are two killers in the film. Most notably when we see Ghostface calling a victim and talking to them from only feet away, undetected. And we see this set up at Jennifer Jolie's place, along with the seeds being planted by Angelina. Angelina and Jennifer are sitting by while Tom tears through pages of the script, tossing them into the air in frustration of the film being shut down. Angelina seems a bit more relaxed than Jennifer, who comments on not liking a particular scene in the script. We then see Dewey enter the room, and it's not until Jennifer acknowledges him that we see Angelina suddenly become bothered by what Tom is doing.
Scenes 40 through 47, the Prescott house flashback.
Tom, stop it. They're scaring me. 2 people are dead.
Scaring you? Ha! Give the sweet young ingenue actor rest.
You're drunk.
I'm coping.
Angelina now sets the scene that she's upset and leaves through the back door, free to roam the property, whereas Gail wasn't after she arrived. So it's easy to see that Angelina, having that freedom, is able to scout the property and or stage it for what comes next. Stone's death and the gas leak explosion, the latter housing 2 clues around her involvement in it. Just before the explosion, we see that Angelina is gone. She has left Dewey, Gail, and Jennifer at the house, which Dewey eventually puts together after the 3 of them go tumbling down the hill to the street, where not only is Ghostface waiting for them, but then
Angelina? Are you...
Tom is in the house.
How'd you end up way over there?
why would Angelina leave them at the house if she was not aware of the impending danger? And then after the explosion, why would the 3 of them not only find Ghostface down on the street below, but Angelina further down that street? And when she was questioned by it, she tries to shift the focus to Tom, and it appears to make the others a tad bit suspicious.
God, Tom was in the house! Are we safe?
Safe from who?
Now here's where things get even more interesting. Up until this point, we have seen a timid, easily freaked out Angelina. But in the mansion, our final act, she has a sharp change in her personality. It's here that we see Angelina's personality shine through, her fascination with old Hollywood, and using her seductive charm to play up the mysteries of the mansion and its secrets.
God, this house is incredible. It's old Hollywood.
Yeah. Could the dude have more money?
Supposedly, Milton has a secret screening room that was like the scene back in the 70s, you know? It was like drinks and drugs and girls and movies and shit.
Wow. Wish I could have seen it.
Even after Tyson attempts to bring everybody back to reality, Angelina continues to show her hand, endearing him to split up from the others.
Have you ever actually seen the stab movies? Every time this dude enters a room, he ends up a goddamn shish kebab.
I'll go with you, Roman.
There you go. You guys want to come?
It'll be okay. We kind of stick together.
Honestly, Angelina seems a bit turned on by where she is at. And if we think back to all the other characters in the franchise up until this point that have a similar passion, we have Mickey, we have Randy, and we have Billy. Two of them are killers. With Billy often referencing films, mainly classic horror films, throughout his conversations, it's only fitting that Angelina is Christina Carpenter, one who was not only obsessed with Billy, but also someone that assisted him in the murders in '96. Someone who would share a similar interest, much like Stu did with Billy. Now here is one more interesting clip from the mansion. After Gail and Jennifer discover Roman's body and run off, Angelina jumps out of a secret passage behind them, and when she tries to lure them inside, but is instead alerted of Roman's death, that is when she returns to the facade that we are more used to seeing. Panicked, frightened, the damsel in distress persona. Now I know what some of you are going to say. We saw Ghostface kill her. She's dead. No, we saw Angelina get stabbed in the shoulder and then saw her body get dragged away. This is easily a fake out death, like Roman and like Billy. But why would she not reveal herself alongside Roman in the end? Well, that answer may be hidden in one sarcastic line from Stu Macher himself.
Yeah, Casey and Steve were completely hollowed out. And the fact is, it takes a man to do something like that.
As we see in this scene, Stu looks over at Billy when he says that no girl could have killed them. This could have been a subtle jab at Billy regarding Christina's involvement in the original murders.
You take a knife, and you slit him from groin to sternum.
Hey, it's called tact, you fuck rag.
She's no killer. She is the woman in the chair, helping coordinate things from the outside, the extra pair of hands that they have needed to execute their plan. Show up in the girl's bathroom, to be the one on the phone with Casey distracting her while Stu created his alibi by being with Tatum. The person who dropped Billy off at Stu's because there was no cars left at his house after the phone call about Principal Himbry. If we look at the clues in Scream 96, there being another accomplice on the phone with Casey Becker while Stu was with Tatum, how easy it would have been for a girl to sneak into the girl's bathroom and attack Sydney, and then someone dropping Billy off at Stu's party. Then combine those with what we saw in Scream 3, Roman having an accomplice calling victims while he stalked them, Angelina winning her role in Stab 3, a woman calling the Woodsboro police station asking about Sid just before it's broken into, Angelina then being caught in the bathroom stall with a Ghostface mask that could have easily been hidden in her purse, her running off before Jennifer Jolie's house explodes, and her change in personality at the mansion revealing her love for old Hollywood. There's a strong possibility that Angelina and Christina are one and the same. See, Angelina would never have to wear a mask or wield a knife. She operated in the shadows, ensuring Billy and Roman always had the edge. And that brings us to one of the most important questions in the return of this character. Why couldn't Angelina just be Angelina if she returned in one of the future movies? Why would she have to be Christina Carpenter? Bringing Angelina back, sure, it would make Roman's story more relevant in the franchise because, let's face it, it's largely ignored. But if Angelina Tyler was her stage name and she was actually Christina Carpenter, her character could be one of the most single important characters in the entire continuity of the franchise, as it strengthens the continuity between Scream 96 and parts 3, 5, and 6. And she could easily be connected to Nancy Loomis due to her relationship with Billy, because let's face it, Nancy probably knew Christina Carpenter. But as always, I will leave it to you to decide whether you think this is a plausible theory, or am I just reaching for straws? Let's continue the conversation in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video, and if you want some Nerdbox inspired merch from your comments, check out the link in the description. We have Stu's Dead, we have Stu's Alive, we have Jill Nation, and we have I Spit on Your Garage. So go and check out the shirts that we have available, and magnets, and all those other fun things. And until the next Popcorn Theory, see ya.